Welcome back to this World of Warcraft Let's Play. You're Sambo, and joining us as always is Seraphis, our level 24 Worgen Mage. Say g'day, Seraphis.
Fate has brought you here to me.
Fate has indeed brought us here once again to Darkshore. If we have a look in our quest log, you might remember at the end of our last episode, of course, we came back here to hand in, and we've still got a couple of tasks to do around here. They're split up a little bit. We have to go and kill off the Jadefire Braziers, of course, stopping the corruption that's sweeping into Darkshore from Felwood. And of course, we have to take out Sharax, the defiler, who's in a cave off to the east there. We also need to take out another named mob, rather, Warlord Rothspine, inside the ruins over here on the island where we were doing the archaeology. And of course we also have to take out his minions, the Darkscale Myrmidon over there as well. And then we got another handed up the top here at Katharina Winterwisp at the Grove of the Ancients, and that's for the Devourer of Darkshore there. Where we had to use the Lifebringer sapling on the shore of the shallow lake to destroy that artifact and its guardian. You might remember we did that in the last episode. Now, one of the things we do have to do, apart from level up my skinning, which I still haven't done, yes, I know, I need a good slap, anyway, is the instances, of course, and we're level 24, and you remember us talking about this last time. We've got a couple here, Blackfathom Deeps and Stormwind Stockade, but of course down in the lower levels we've got Wailing Caverns, which we've only got till the end of level 25 for, and Shadowfang Keep. So what I'm going to do as we quest around, same as last time, I'm going to pop myself in the queue for both of these. And hopefully one will pop. If it pops, we'll pause the video and we'll come back to questing later, and of course we'll make a separate episode out of the instance run if it does pop. So let's do that right now. And of course, where are we? Here we go. If you just need a refresher, if you do a random classic dungeon, you will get your little satchel of helpful goods and a bunch of XP and money on top of all the normal stuff you'd get out of there. But of course we don't want to do that because it's only going to do these two in our level range, which are Blackfathom Deeps and Stormwind Stockade. Instead we want to go to the specific one, so we can still queue for them up till this level, but we won't get those extra rewards. Alright, so let's pop ourselves in there, and of course I've chosen the DPS role in the little role selector up the top here, and I've also selected that I can actually lead the group if need be. So you can see now, here we go, assembling the group, we're in the queue. At the moment, I'm the only one in it. So we'll let that go. We'll leave that to tick along. Let's have a look on our map now. Where are we going to head to? I think we're going to go do some of the Jadefire Braziers. Perhaps we'll clear those away. Let's mount up and head off into the great south of Darkshore with, of course, the Master's Glaive looking at us ominously in the background there. That's going to be brought back to life maybe by the Twilight's Hammer, and of course we want to stop that from happening. Right, here's some braziers, and of course they're naturally guarded by some of these corrupted black wolves. There's our arcane missiles that have procced, and of course not to forget our counterspell as well. If we come up against a caster, we can always use counterspell, which will interrupt a spell being cast by an enemy, so don't forget about that. Here we go, 2 out of 8 of the Jadefire Braziers. Now what do we got? Another one over here. Any mobs around? Nope. Alright, there we go, 3 of 8. Let's just keep an eye out behind us for that wandering mob might come back. Just using our Arcane Barrage and our new Arcane Explosion just to finish off. Now, one of the things you do have to be careful about with the Arcane Explosion is, of course, that you don't aggro, and that was very lucky, I didn't see him behind us there, don't aggro anyone else, because of course it is an AoE, so you want to be very careful, otherwise you might end up with more than you can deal with. And you're going to obviously have a very swift and premature death, which is something that's not wholly unfamiliar to me. Anyway, alright, opening up with the Frostbolt. Then we've got our Fireball, of course. Now we can interrupt him there. You can see he's casting Wrath. I interrupted him, and it's going to force him to run towards us. And of course, now we're really picking these guys off quite easily as well, given our level and given the fact that we've trained up our spells. Alright, 4 out of 8. Whoops. Gosh, how could I not see those guys?
Have a target.
And how come I keep losing my target? Really would like to know what's going on with that one. Anyway, Counterspell has come off cooldown. Let's use it, silence him. Oh, and he managed to get another one off. Just bad timing on our behalf there. We counterspelled just before he started casting, actually, which is a bit of a bummer. Never mind. Alright, here we go. Another one, a Frostbolt opener. Let's fill this one up with an Arcane Blast because, of course, it has that lovely dot on it which increases our damage by 10, 20, 30 and ultimately 40%. There we go. And you can see the glowing little sparkles behind here. And, of course, we're picking up our woolen cloth, which is fantastic. That's the next tier, 5 of 8 braziers there too, by the way. Next tier of cloth that drops off humanoids. And, of course, we're able to use that in our first aid to level up our first aid and make much better bandages. So we definitely want to do that because bandages are something you also want to keep up to date on, just like skinning and everything else. Bandages come in very handy later on. And, of course, the higher your skill, the better you can make them. So, of course, they're going to heal a lot more over time as you level up. Whoops, didn't need to throw off that last arcane explosion, but hey, it's fun. Why the heck not? Hello, rat. Goodbye, rat. Alright, what do we got? 7 of 8. Let's head over here because, of course, we do need to pop over in this direction as well because we've got this guy here, Sharax the Defiler, to take out as well. Let's open up with another Frostbolt, of course, to slow these guys. Casting a Fireball. I should have probably casted Silence. There we go. We'll cast it now. And, of course, that interrupts his spell casting, which means he has to run towards us, and of course all the while that he's running towards us we can be pummeling him like that with spells. Much more efficient. Let's try it. Oh no, it's on cooldown so we can't use the counter spell anyway. Ouch, and that Wrath certainly hits us very hard, which is what he's casting at us, of course. Alright, here we go. Last Jadefire Brazier, I think. There we go. 8 out of 8. Let's have a look on our map now, and you should see, there we go, the Defiler, Sharax the Defiler. He's obviously in this cave. Let's make our way in there. I do love going into caves. Not sure if it's going to be a big one, or if it's just a little nook. We'll soon find out. And also, because of the instant nature of Arcane Explosion, don't forget you can use it on the run as well. You don't actually have to stop to cast that. Alright, here he is, just a small little cave. Let's again open with Frostbolt. So he has to run towards us slowly. We've got our Arcane Missiles up, we'll use that. And let's use Arcane Explosion as well, just to get rid of him in the end. And look at that, he actually dropped a nice cape. What has he got? Rigid Cape of the Healing. Now, this is interesting, this one. This one is not quite as good as the one we've got because it, well, we lose 4 intellect because the one we have has 4 more intellect. And of course, we really want intellect, but this one does have 4 spell power and more armor. So, oh, it's a real tough one. Now, if you're ever concerned about what the different stats do, again, you can hop into your character screen and go look at the stats, and you can see here we got intellect, which is the stat we'd be missing, and that does a whole bunch of stuff. It increases mana by a certain amount, increases your spell power, and it also increases your spell critical hit. Now, spell power, of course, is down here under spell, and you can see here that it increases the damage of healing spells. Now, let's see what happens to our spell power if we get rid of this cloak. So, at the moment, it's the intellect part of it anyway. It says there, increases spell power by 70. Let's pop this new cloak on and just check what happens to the stats, and it will bind on equip. You can see there that it has actually gone down. Our spell power is now only 66 down there. But if we go down and have a look at it under here, it's only 70. So in actual fact, that was a waste. We do need to use our other cloak. And unfortunately, now I've used the new one, which means it's soulbound, which means unfortunately I can't put it on the auction house now. But I did need to test it to see what the stats change would be. And of course, it was well worth doing that because it looked like it would do better. But in actual fact, at the end of the day, the combination of the other cloak's intellect actually meant that our spell power was greater with this one on. So never mind, we can of course sell it off to a vendor, no problems. Alright, let's have a look at our map and see what we've got. Got some hand-ins here, so let's mount up and go hand in, see if we can avoid being killed. In the meantime, let's have a look at this, and you can see we've been in the queue for 7 minutes and still we're only, well, we're the only one in the queue, which is a bit unfortunate, so it's taking a bit of a while to pop. It's a bit sad. Yeah, of course it could well be the time of day as well that we're playing, and look at that view out there. That's where we're headed later, out to that island where all of the relics were. Now actually, I wonder if there's any dig sites out here. No, they've moved, so unfortunately we can't do any archaeology hunting down there just yet. It is random where they appear, of course. Jumpy, jumpy. Gosh, I'm as bad steering here as I am in DC Universe Online with the races. Okay, here we go. A ritual a Blackwood ritual stick, and of course it's a lot worse than the cookie steering rod that we did get out of the Dead Mines instance when we ran it, so we're not going to be able to use that really. Let's have a look. Well, actually we are, because it's actually worth the most money to sell to a vendor, so let's do that. Right, and with this one, same deal. We've got a mail item and a leather item, none of which we can actually use on our turn. So once again, just having a look, seeing which one is worth the most to sell to a vendor. 2 silver 97 copper versus 5 silver 85 copper. Obviously we'll take these here. And there we go, it looks like we've finished up all the quests in this area. Where to next? What's nearest? Probably, yeah, we could go to the Grove of the Ancients because that's close by, but we should probably head over here to the Tides Turn Against Us, back out to the ruinous island there, the island with the ruins on it, and do those quests, because we'll probably have to head back anyhow to the Grove of the Ancients. Now you can see what's coming up here. Of course, we've got a copper vein. It's down in there. Ooh, will we be able to get back out? Not sure. Let's take the risk. Take a bit of a jump down, take a hit to our health. Sometimes they put these in crazy places. Sometimes you can't actually get to them too easily, or unless you've got flying. So yeah, just got to be a bit careful sometimes when you do jump down somewhere. Right, let's mount up on the Winged Guardian, which of course is my purchase from the Blizzard cash shop, if you're wondering where this comes from. No, you can't buy it in-game. You have to go and spend your hard-earned real money, unfortunately, in the Blizzard cash store. But hey, sometimes you got to do it, because of course when you buy this guy, this Winged Guardian here, he not only flies when you get your flying skill, but he also instantly becomes available to every single one of your toons, and whether that's past, present or future, so it's a worthy investment in my eyes. And of course, we're passing by where we made the hovel there for the Murlocs in our last episode, crossing over here, and these are the guys we have to kill. How do we know? Because if we hover over them, you can see there on the tooltip down the bottom here, it actually comes up and says the Tides Turn Against Us. Darkscale Myrmidon slain, 0 of 8. So this is what we're after. Whoops. Good old clear casting sound there. And of course, you know what that means, don't you? Yes, it means that we get ourselves a nice free cast. And always, of course, trying to open with the frost with the frostbolt there to keep them slow and make sure that it takes them a while to get to us, so that while they're running towards us, of course, we can be pummeling them with our spells. Always the best way to do things. Let's get this guy from across the gap. We'll see what happens. Not sure where he'll run. What's he going to do? Oh, he's still alive. Goodness, he took a bit of a beating, that's for sure. Oh, and what have we got there? Some more green. What are these, fire stompers perhaps? No, I think they were our quest reward. We got something green. Oh, here we go, gloves, shimmering gloves of the eagle. And they've got intellect and stamina, and they are way better. Look at that, way, way, way better than what we've got. So a nice, handy, random drop there. Let's go to our equipment here, and we'll right click, and yes, we want to equip those and soul bind them to us. We'll save our new set. We'll also go to the fishing and equip that, of course, because we want to swap that over, and we'll pop the gloves onto that set as well. Back to our normal combat one, and that's great. That's a whole bunch of stats that we really did need. And of course I can see over here, look at that, we've got a nice copper node again. I'm quite surprised. I thought we'd see more silver and tin nodes around here, but perhaps they're actually going to come into play once we get down into the zone of Ashenvale here, perhaps. Hopefully, anyhow. Alright, Myrmidon, you are mine. And good old clear casting sound once again. Procs a lot, which is fantastic. I do think you're silly if you don't grab that as a talent. And just to remind you, of course, you go into a talent tree, hit N. It was this one here, Arcane Concentration, one of the first talents you can actually get, and it gives us a 10% chance of entering that clear casting state. And you can see also we get our next talent point at level 25. Look at this, folks. Gosh, it's going fast. We're 1 1/4 bars away. Oh, from level 25. We really need to get into this instance. Oh, look at that. You can see now we've got 3 DPS and a heals. As always, we're just waiting on a tank. Always waiting around for the tank. And in fact, from the tank's perspective, because of course my main in this game is a tank, it's a Worgen Death Knight. Whenever I queue for an instance, it's instant. Bit of a tongue twister there. I always just get instant queues being a tank. For some reason, there's a real shortage of tanks in this game. Not sure why, but that's just the way it is. Alright, 4 out of 8 of those Myrmidons slain, and you can see we have to head inside the cave here, I think. Oh, look at that. I was just talking about a tin vein, and look, one appears. How is that? Fantastic. So that hopefully will, yes, it does. Look at that. Levels up our skill in mining by a point, because it's the next tier up in the mining tier tree. And there we go. We've got ourselves into a dungeon. So we'll end this episode now and go do the Wailing Caverns. Fantastic. That's good news. So we will be right back. And there we go, folks. We are back from the Wailing Caverns. And of course, if you watch that episode, you'll see that we get ourselves a nice blue Anacondra's robe. Very nice upgrade there to our chest piece. So very, very, very happy about that. And of course, we've got a very good group as well. So very happy about that run. And look at that. It took us all the way through to halfway through our XP bar, halfway through level 25. And of course, that's kind of a bit of a worry as well, because now, if we go to our random classic dungeon, you can see that it hasn't changed in terms of needing to do Black Fathom Deeps and Stormwind Stockade. But if we go to the individual specific dungeons here, you can see that now Gnomeregan has opened up, which is another instance. And of course, we've only got through till the end of level 26 to do Shadowfang Keep, which is still another massively iconic early old school WoW instance that you're going to want to see as well. In fact, most of these are, but Shadowfang Keep is particularly cool now. It's been changed a lot with the Cataclysm. Alright, so back to our questing here. Of course, we've got 5 out of 8 of these Myrmidons that are slain. So we need to take out 3 more of them. There we go, 6 out of 8. Now, somewhere down here, I think should be there. Warlord Rothspine inside here. Of course, he's going to be down somewhere in these ruins. We may have to jump down there. But how awesome does it look in here? The lighting is so well done. I love all these old ruined sort of underground subterranean areas. There we go, 7 out of 8. Oh, and look, there's some copper. No, tin down there. This is a great place for getting tin, it would seem. But yeah, doesn't it look awesome, all these old ruins here? Kind of old temples and stuff. Looks like ancient Greek stuff. Alright, opening up with a good old frost bolt rather, of course. Slow them down. And there we go, 8 out of 8. Not forgetting either to make sure that you open your barnacled clams. Don't sell them as is, because when you open them, there we go, you can see appearing in my inventory there, clam meat. It sells a lot more than a barnacled clam will, trust me. And hello to Withers, by the way, who we bought out in our dungeon run before, if you're wondering how come he suddenly appeared. We thought we could do some company in the dungeon run, and guess who came out? Yes, it was Withers. Here we go, small barnacle clam. Now, of course, because we've had this dungeon run, you can see what else is happening here, can't you? And that is that my bags are filling up. No good. So we're going to have to go and empty them at some stage. Alright, let's make our way down. You can see this is quite a sprawling labyrinth of caves underneath the island here. So we've got to find our way down to the bottom, hopefully to find the boss that we're looking for, who is, of course, Warlord Wrathspine. And most bosses are normally at the end of these particular types of dungeons, so we'll keep on heading on down. And a lovely background music there too. Tin vein, I do like the fact that there's tin in here. Of course, tin being the next tier up. So it's leveling up our mining at the same time, which, by the way, has gone up to 97 now, which is fantastic. There we go, another 64 XP to chalk up. Now let's just quickly hop in here and make sure that the... I thought that might have been the boss. That the boss isn't hiding in one of these little rooms. Sometimes they are. Isn't it well done? Look at that. Look at all the detail in the background there of the ruins, all the different levels. You really do feel like you're kind of in an Indiana Jones exploration movie or something. I've said that many a time before. Alright, let's head further down into these caverns. And of course, it makes sense to take out the mobs along the way, both for XP and for the chance for items to drop. And I'm just loving this new dress that we got, these new robes, new chest piece. Very, very handy. And just in case you don't or didn't see the Wailing Caverns run, if we ever look at our old chest piece, if I can find it, whereabouts is it? There it is. And of course you hold down shift to do a comparison tooltip. And you can see there minus 16 armor, minus 2 intellect, minus 3 stamina, and minus 5 critical strike rating. So massive advantage now having this new robe. Lock him in place there. And we got knocked over ourselves. Look at that. And of course we can't cast if we've been knocked down. And look at that, Withers as well. Withers is withering away. Of course, you might remember from, a long time ago now, when we first picked up Withers from up in Lord Danelle, I think it was. You might remember that if we keep him out of water, he will actually shrivel up and get small. So you can see he's very small at the moment. If we do happen to pass through some water, he will expand back out again. And look at this, another tin vein. Oh, I'm loving this. This is great stuff. Thank you very much. Alright, looks like it peels off, does it? No, just over there. We might as well kill this one anyway.
Don't have a target.
There we go, and some old dinosaur bones or something there. Right, I am going to imagine that our boss guy is probably up ahead. Good old arcane explosion, just a little bit too late. And look at that, already we now have full bags. We've got one slot left. Ugh, this is no good. What's the bet we pick up something really awesome and we're going to have to trash something? Yep, we're really living on the edge of inventory space here, folks. Good lord, we're going to have to pick ourselves up some bigger bags, I think. Just have to bite the bullet, because of course we have 107 gold. It's not like we're shy on gold. We should put it to use, because it's much more important to have lots of bag space, believe me. And once again, not forgetting that you can actually cast your instants while you're moving, unlike your actual casted spells. So all of these big long cast time ones we can't move, of course, and if we do, it will interrupt our casting, but all the instant ones like this we can just cast away at our leisure. Gosh, all these clams, all this yummy clam meat. No, not yummy as in eating, but yummy as in it's money for jam on the auction house, of course. Let's use a blink, get out of harm's way, blink into a wall, but never mind. At least you can see it got us absolutely miles away there.
Something first.
Very handy. Oh, and it's a thick-shelled clam.
Inventory is full.
Alright, we're going to have to get rid of something here. Let's get rid of a murloc fin, we don't want that. And we'll open the clam, and that has, you can see they're different to the clam meat. This has tangy clam meat, which is used in some different recipes, so yeah. Alright, there he is, Warlord Rothspine. You are ours, with your funny weird shell arm thing. Let's lock him in place, give him a bit of fire. And there we go. It says, you are too late. The relic is being offered to Azshara above us as we speak. Uh-oh. The Warlord doesn't seem to have the horn on him, and of course that's why we were killing him. Perhaps he was telling the truth. Oh, look at that. We've got ourselves an achievement for completing 90 quests in Darkshore. And of course that's a massive achievement. Well done us. That's our first zone achievement. And that is fantastic, because that actually pretty much signifies that we're near the end of the storyline for the quests in this zone, which means we'll be carrying on. Oh, there's some people. there, other players, yay. Which means we're going to be heading off onto the next zone of Ashenvale very soon. Let's wave hello to them.
Our fates are intertwined.
And look, they got the same thing as well. Hey, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hey! No! We need that quest. What the heck? Okay, that is very weird. I'm saying, hey, what? He disappeared. Oh, never mind. There we go. Because he killed him again. There we go. Quest objectives here. The Warlord said the Horn of the Ancients was being offered to Azshara above. Perhaps it's not too late to save the relic from being destroyed. Stop the priestess from offering the Horn to the Ancients. There we go. We'll accept that quest. Alright. Now it's time to head back out and not get lost, which is easier said than done. Let's use our dark flight ability here to get out nice and fast. And I think it's up this way, yeah. Now I'm just going to run past this guy, freeze him in place. Not sure if we'll actually be able to make it out without getting killed. Let's deal to this one. And thank goodness for our instant abilities there, saving our bacon. See if we can grab this tin without aggroing him. Jolly good. Hope it's not going to be able to slip past this one though. And once again, weirdness there with the targeting and the spell casting. Not sure quite what's going on. And our Dark Flight ability, you can see, is still on cooldown there. 47 seconds left on that, so we won't need it. Because by the time we get out the top here, we'll be able to mount up and then carry on with the next part of our quest. Now, where do we need to go? Let's have a look here. The offering to Azshara. The Warlord said the Horn of the Ancients was being offered to Azshara above. Alright, so I'd say we obviously have to climb up here. Now what's interesting is that there's no marking for it on the map, and I'm honestly not sure why that is, to be honest, but anyway. Let's read the quest log, and it says go up, so that's what we shall do. And what's this here? Horn of the Ancients. There it is. Okay, so we have to prevent the offering by the looks of things. I'd say that means taking out these priestesses. One down. Let's invite this person, just in case...
We can't invite anyone else.
There we go, they've invited me to a group. So we're all on the same quest. You can see there 2 Night Elves. I do love the Night Elf models, by the way. One of my favourite races. And here we go, look at that, Queen Azshara. Very rarely actually get to see her. And that is her. Kind of a derivation of Lady Vash. Who dares oppose Queen Azshara? You will soon beg for a swift death. And of course, it's not until the Cataclysm expansion that you've actually got to see her, pretty much. This is a very, very special treat. Very cool. Malfurion Stormrage.
May Elune grant us
It's
strength.
over, Azshara. You and your Naga will return to the bottom of the seas where you belong. Ah, Malfurion Stormrage. I'd hoped to keep you occupied for a little longer. It was my goal to keep you away from Hyjal while my allies attacked. It would seem I have succeeded. Very cool. Two very big lore characters here. I've no need to fight you, for it appears I've already won. You cannot stop our attack on Darkshore, nor save Hyjal at the same time. She's not lying. Nordrassil is in danger. I must make haste and prepare for Hyjal's defense. This is very interesting. It will be up to you to use the Horn of the Ancients and stop Soggoth's return.
Hail
Wow,
to the
okay.
light.
Alright, so we've got some really nice slippers there, which are a lot better than the ones we've got, or we've got some agility ring. We'll take the slippers. You've done well, Seraphis. Unfortunately, the battle is far from over. Oh, and our inventory is full. Quick, we don't want him to despawn.
May Elune grant us strength.
There we go, and he's got another quest
Hail
for us.
to the
The
light.
Ancients of the Grove have come to our aid, Seraphis. I can see through their eyes, even as we speak. The Twilight's Hammer have been forced to hasten the ritual, and thus have only managed to resurrect but a remnant of the dread Soggoth. Thank goodness for that. Destroy it before it's too late, Seraphis. I am needed elsewhere. Return to the Druids. Oh! I missed the quest again. Gosh, they despawn far too quickly. There we go.
That bag is full.
And of course, because our bag was full, we couldn't take the quests. And they're saying, do you want to help us out with the next one? There we go. Very nice of them. Alright, so what do we actually have to do here? The battle for Darkshore, slay the Avatar of Soggoth at the Master's Glaive. Very cool. So we have to destroy it before it's too late. Very interesting. So you can see here and now we're in a nice little group. We've all got our mounts here, which is very cool. And oh my lord, look at that! We have a cat here that is named Hello Catty. Can you believe it? How funny is that? Here we go, the spawn of Soggoth. So we've got this, look at this. This is all changed in here now. This is a big phased event. Very cool. You can see that the Ancients now are fighting against the Avatar of Soggoth up there, that big thing in the background. But Reggie, if you're watching, look at that. Hello Catty. Let's see if we can get a screenshot just for Reggie. There we go. And here we go, the Avatar of Soggoth. This is the big guy that we have to take down. Good lord, let's get the heck out of here. So a massive event going on here, and of course a massive amount of phasing that has gone on, because of course last time we were here, it didn't look anything like this. And there we go. The Avatar is down. Avatar of Soggoth is slain. Nice group work there on behalf of all of us. And there we go. Hello Catty. Hunter Moon's pet. Very funny. Let's get rid of Withers there. Get out of the way. And that's it. Thank you very much, I shall say to them. Thanks for the help. And see you later. And we'll give them a wave. There we go, once again proving of course that there are very nice people that still play WoW. Alright, that's it. I think this is probably where we should log off because we've run way over time, way over time. We'll pick it up again in the next episode. As you can see, fantastic use of the phasing technology here. And once again, to recap the storyline, the Twilight's Hammer managed to not bring back Soggoth, thank goodness. You can see how big he is, but they brought back the avatar of him, which is big enough. And of course, we've had to help out and try and slay him. Our next episode, we'll be heading back to the Grove of the Ancients, where we will hand in a whole bunch of quests and repair up and sell all our goods, and of course probably be sent down into a new zone, which is very exciting stuff for us. Of course, that being Ashenvale. Let's have a look on the map here. You can see there it is, and of course the reason we know that as well is because we got ourselves a nice little achievement there for completing all of the Darkshore quests. So it's been a real neat storyline here in Darkshore, quite different to the way it used to be prior to the Cataclysm, but pretty sure you'll agree that it's very well streamlined, pulls you along very nicely, and it's certainly not painful running up and down around all over the place. Made even better, of course, if you come across a group of nice players to help share it with you or your friends. So there you go, folks. That's it from us. Time to leave, I think. Certainly hope you enjoyed this episode. More importantly, of course, I hope we see you in the next one. Certainly hope you're having a great day. Until next time, it's myself, Sambo, and of course, Seraphis, our wonderful Worgen Mage, saying take care, we'll see you later, and bye-bye.